Estamos acá en las 3 preguntas con Jimmy y Walter de Foals. Esta vez nos estarán respondiendo un poco sobre sus influencias con la primera pregunta: 3 discos de cabecera, 3 discos a los que ustedes siempre regresan. ¿Podrían mencionarnos cuáles son esos? The
3 albums.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
gonna split them up. I'll go first.
Yeah, we'll do 3 between us. You go.
Numero uno is OK Computer by Radiohead, because it's probably the first album I listened to that really made me understand how deep and understanding music can be, and the fact that it just works so well as an album and as like a thing, and it creates so many images in your head, and for me it triggers, you know, memories of when I first listened to it, which I think is why music's so good, is you can recall memories instantly when you hear music. So that's my favourite album of all time, I think, that album.
I'd say one of mine is Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness by Smashing Pumpkins, just because I think at the time it was such a bold, like, brave record, and it being obviously a double album as well. It was like, when you got it, you're just like, oh, I can sit down and like, I've got so much. You can get through the first disc and you know you've got a whole other side, and it's just like, it's amazingly kind of deep and intricate and beautiful and heavy and sad. It's just a perfect mixture of everything. It shows that you can make a record with such different kind of colours in it, you know, and it'll work. So I always go back to that, and just like, it's great.
Number 3 would be Best of the Beast by Iron Maiden. It's a compilation. It's not actually it's a best of compilation, but that was very important for me when I was a kid. I think that taught me how to have fun and kind of like hate my parents a little bit.
It was also good at school, wasn't it? In art classes.
Yeah. Yeah, painting to Iron Maiden is good. Yeah.
What about you?
Another one. Mind blank.
Simon & Garfunkel.
No, I wouldn't put that down. Help me out. What would be? Oh, the Cure, Disintegration. Yeah.
Good choice.
That was kind of off the top of my head. I hadn't really rehearsed anything for that. That's just another record that like you can fall asleep to and you can listen to when you're traveling a lot. It's kind of really amazing. It's just completely immersive. Like you can just put it on your headphones and it just kind of swallows you whole.
It's pretty cool that they were kind of like a pop band, really popular pop band, and then to release an album like that, which is it's a pretty weird album, with all these epic love songs, you know,
and
quite dark love songs.
Instrumental parts where there's not much vocals and things. It's just kind of really good. It's cool.
And a third album that you really enjoy?
Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. I mean, it's undeniably amazing, and it kind of, you know, you can listen to it if you're feeling happy, you can listen to it if you're feeling suicidal. You know, it's good. It suits everything. You can have it when you're having lunch, you can listen to Pet Sounds. When you're really drunk, you can listen to Pet Sounds. When you're high, you know, yada yada yada.
You get the message.
And what about you? Your third album?
Third album, I'd probably say some Beatles actually. Probably Revolver, I think. That's partly because it's one of my wife's favourite records, and we always, like, for me, it's kind of memories of listening to it with her, and we always used to have it on the car with cassette and things. So it's like a really special record that is, and that's again is a record that's really like, it's so different in parts as well. It just doesn't like follow a single theme. So, and yeah, it's probably my favourite Beatles record, I think.
Bueno, la segunda pregunta, 3 bandas que estén escuchando recientemente. ¿Qué es lo último que se han estado bajando? ¿Qué es lo último que están escuchando ustedes?
Well, I'm listening to this guy, or all of us are listening to this guy called John Mouse, which is M-A-U-S. It's a funny name. And he's makes it's kind of like 80s music, like Knight Rider. It kind of sounds like all these 80s films, like Terminator and RoboCop, but it's brilliant. It's really good. What are you listening to?
I'm not I'm trying to think of something that I'm listening to recently that isn't really that new, but it's a new collaboration between this guy called John Hopkins and this guy called King Creosote, who's kind of like a folk kind of guy. So it's like electronica and folk mixed together. So it's kind of a new project, but it's not. They've been around for a while. Yeah, I'm listening to that at the moment. New bands. I don't know, I'm not very good on new bands. Like
Kurt Weill is good as well. He's like a psychedelic, kind of folky guy with long hair. It's pretty cool.
what else is new that we've been listening to?
Today I bought this album by this guy called Kaz McCombs, which is pretty cool. I listened to it on the way over here while looking at the ocean and the lovely Peruvian mountains. Yeah, it's a good soundtrack.
Soundtrack to the Andes.
Yeah, yeah. That'll be my memory every time I listen to that album now. I'll think of Peru. Yeah.
Have I got any more new bands?
He just likes the 60s.
They're just like old music. No, I haven't got any more. I can't think.
Okay.
I can't think.
Do you have anything?
Just trying to look at my iTunes list in my head. Well, another band called The War on Drugs. They're pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I can't. Loads of new bands, but I never remember any of them.
Un concierto que a ustedes les marcó la vida. ¿Cuál fue el concierto que ustedes recuerdan con más cariño?
The concert that I remember the most is when Radiohead played in Oxford, in their hometown, in 2001, I think it was, and I was still at school, and it was amazing because they played in this park, which is right opposite to where we kind of live now in Oxford. And it was a big homecoming show, and they put up a special stage, and they just released, was it After Amnesiac? I think?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
And
And it was just amazing, like homecoming show. It was really, really exciting. Everyone we knew was going, and it was kind of, everyone got together at the gig. And then at the end, it was like torrential rain, like during the encore, and everyone just got like soaked in the park and just went off home at the end of the night. It was just like a really special, well done concert. It was good.
What about you?
I'm funny. I can remember the first concert I ever went to, but I mean it was inspiring for the wrong reasons, I think. Which was this guy Gary Glitter. My mum and dad took me to see Gary Glitter in Birmingham, and it was pretty horrible. And it inspired me never to make music like that.
How old were you? You remember what year was
I must have been 8, so it was the very early 90s. But after that, I mean, recently we saw My Bloody Valentine. That was the most inspiring show I've seen.
Where was it?
That was in a
Dublin?
festival in Ireland, Electric Picnic Festival. Yeah, Electric Picnic Festival, and it was so loud. It was like the loudest thing ever. Apparently they broke a record recently for the loudest show ever recorded.
People were just kind of like collapsing. It was great.
People were crying. It was so loud.
Bueno, gracias.
Cool, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you. I have maybe you don't know any Peruvian music, but I brought you a record.
Oh, cool.
It's early in mid 60s. Is this one?
You got it. He's just talked about it.
I know these guys. Well, I don't know them personally, but yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, it's
Wicked.
It's the only Peruvian band that we know.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
well, thank you guys.
That's great.
Enjoy it.
All right, thanks a lot, man.